Weil, and I am the owner and principal of National Restaurant Consultants, and we welcome you into the 193rd edition of the NRC Helpful Moment. And want to say hello to Mr. Brian Devine from Cafe Fuel and Top Line Management. Hello, Brian. How are you?
I am terrific. How about yourself, Richard?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. So today is going to be a 3 or 4 minute on my soapbox a little bit, and then I'll turn it over to Brian. But the topic is no regrets. No regrets. So it's the day after the midterm elections, and there's a lot of people out there who might be licking their wounds or not, or celebrating or whatever. My son ran for a political office in California these past many months, and the campaign, of course, ended yesterday. He did not win. He didn't win. And he learned a lot. And I'm very proud, and our family's very proud of what he was able to do and running as an independent. He ran as an independent, didn't take any political action money, and yeah, he didn't win. But you know what? He sent out an email today to the people who contributed and were friends of his, that he created a list on who was part of his campaign followers. And he wrote a wonderful letter to people saying he has no regrets. And he's talking about a lesson he learned way back in high school when he was on the really a statewide, highly acclaimed soccer team here in the Denver metro area, where his soccer coach would basically give him the rah-rah speech and talk to them about leaving it all on the field and having no regrets. And so the message here today is not about politics. It's not about the campaigns. It's not about anything, but relate to this. And it reminded me, every day your staff shows up, every day they have an opportunity to impact people's lives. They're going to feed them food, beverages, and they're going to hopefully do the look at me, smile at me, talk to me, thank me. And you, as the owner or the manager, you need to be the leader of that group and being able to communicate, at the end of the shift, the end of the day, the end of the week, the end of the month, you have no regrets. You have no regrets. You left it out there for your guests, for your staff, with your vendors. And looking at that thought process of no regrets, it really ties into what we do in the food service and hospitality industry, because every day we have an opportunity to think about how we are impactful and what we do in our messaging and service and our cleanliness and our quality. And those things are still part of what we do in the food service and hospitality. At the end of the day, the end of the shift, or the end of the month or the year, look and think about no regrets. Having no regrets is important, and all the steps and all the touch points that you do. So I want to thank my son, who's in California, who did an amazing job and an amazing effort. And I'm proud of him, and your whole family's proud of you. And we have absolutely supported you, and no regrets for what you were able to do out there. So congratulations to everybody who can look at themselves every day and say, no regrets. So Brian, there's my story.
All right. Well, I love it. Thank you for sharing that story. And let's just stay along the lines of no regrets. And that brings me to the question that you have to ask yourself when you're running any business, let alone a restaurant especially, that if you are finding yourself in a slow period or things are not going as well as you would like, and you don't have a list of customers to talk to, then you will have regrets. and I know we talk about lists all the time, but this is getting easier and easier to do, not harder, and it's getting less expensive, not more expensive. So do not have any regrets. Don't leave something behind. Make sure that you're figuring out ways to build your list. And, obviously, we have tools to make it as easy for you as possible. But even if you just go to MailChimp or Aweber or ActiveCampaign, there are all these tools that you can set up for free to just try them out, that you can start building a list and at least reaching out via email. Now, we obviously recommend email and text message, and you can also look at doing Facebook Messenger. However, I want to always have a caveat. If you use a tool like Facebook to build your what we call list, please remember that Facebook owns that list, not you. And you have to take that list, that group of people that have liked you and talked to you on Facebook. You have to move them off of Facebook onto your own list that you own, so that if Facebook on a whim just decides to shut you down, you're not out of luck. You still have that list. And I say that because we ran into this recently where we had an entire campaign ready to go and rolling on Facebook, and it was rolling, and Facebook just shut it all down. And they couldn't even tell me why, because their side couldn't even see that it was shut down. They're telling me that it's running, and I'm showing that it's not running. So we lost about a week on Facebook, but I just took the campaign money, the money that we've set aside, and moved it somewhere else, because I still knew the list. I still knew who the target was. I still knew literally who to send my message to. And so we lost a week on that side, but we didn't lose any momentum. And that's what I really want you to be thinking about, so that you don't have any regrets. And if Facebook, just for whatever random reason, says, we're shutting you down and you're going to spend 2 or 3 weeks trying to get it back, I don't want you to lose any momentum. You just shift everything to what you've created for yourself. And there are ways, believe it or not, to automate that process, where if somebody likes your page, that you can ask them to move over to your other list, where it's off of social media. And that way you can send out your emails, send out your text messages, whatever it is that you need, that you can just do that. And that way you won't have those regrets. You know that you have a real asset. And that is the key, is your business. The greatest asset any business has are the customers. And if you don't know who the customers are, you don't really have an asset. And that's why we always talk about building your list, building your list, building your list. And if you need some help, let us know. We're happy to do that. If you just have some questions, we don't charge to talk to you and answer your questions and make sure that you have the right information, so that you can at least get things started, because this is all Richard and I do, right? So we want to help. And if we can help you get things going on the right direction, obviously at no charge, and hopefully, hey, down the road, you're going to come back to us when things are going great and you want them to do better, and we're here for you. So that's kind of what we want to make sure that we help you along that process, because what better way to show you that we can help but by actually helping. So hopefully you found some value in this today.
Yep. So it is part of our structure here at the NRC Helpful Moment. It's about being helpful. It is always about what we can do to be supportive. We probably do several calls a week with people all across the country that just have a question. And you know what? That's fine. That's what we're here for. We don't charge for that. So Brian's right. Just remember, each day, each shift, each week, each month, leave it out on the field. No regrets, okay? That's it for the 193rd edition of the NRC Helpful Moment. So long for now. Bye, everyone.
Bye for now.